Good evening. Tonight, I would like to speak with you about a current special education issue that is important to successful professional practice. That is IEP compliance. In my job as a special educator, I've seen firsthand the struggles that general educators and special educators alike have faced with implementing IEPs. But don't take my word for it. In a study by Wazigwi in March of 2025, he found that schools were often limited by resources, limited by training. So many IEPs have not been properly implemented. So let's talk about some of the challenges that teachers have faced and maybe some ways we can overcome those challenges. General education teachers' understanding of the student's IEP. Sometimes general education teachers don't understand what those goals and objectives are and how they can implement them. What we can do is instead of giving the full IEP to the teacher, we can give just what's called a snapshot or summary that has just the goals and objectives and the accommodation modifications. Also, the special education teacher and the general education teacher can sit down and go over the IEP, the goals, objectives, the accommodations, modifications, and the special education teacher can answer any questions that the special educator, the general educator might have. Another challenge might be there are so many people, so many students in my inclusion class. Who has time to personalize every assignment 7 different ways? That can be very challenging. So one thing we can do is to possibly give inclusion teaching extra planning time. I know you guys are all laughing right now, but it's a solution. um, Also, a lot of general education teachers ask, how can we give extended time for certain students in our class, but not all of our students? What we can do is, well, first of all, let me back up and say, sometimes I hear, well, I just give time and a half to all my students. But then you're not giving time and a half, then you're giving everybody the same amount of time again. So you still have to give time and a half. You're not implementing the IEP with fidelity. If you give everybody the same amount of time, you still have to give your time and a half students time and a half. What we can do is maybe if it's an elementary school, the teacher can have a lunch bunch, could be the gen ed teacher and or the special ed teacher, maybe taking turns. Middle and high school, I'm not sure how they do it elsewhere, but in my county, we have flight time, which is a half an hour sandwiched in between first and second block every day, where students are able to go to other teachers' makeup tests, get extra help. So we could do it during that time. Nest time is when the high school has a block of 1 hour for lunch. Everybody goes to lunch at the same time for 60 minutes, but 30 of those minutes are meant to go have lunch. 30 of those minutes are meant to go get extra help from teachers, make up work, the same as flight time. We can also have those students enroll in a Prep Plus class, which is sort of like a study hall, but it's a lot more structured. And you can also let the student take the assignment home. Another challenge is resources, training. How can I change the reading level of this text for this student who reads on a first grade level? Resources. We can advocate for training. Hart, Dixon, Drummond, and McIntyre in 2004 said that schools should be geared to provide additional support as part of a normal provision. We shouldn't have to advocate for more support. It should already be built in. We can add these topics to professional development. sessions, we can encourage more collaboration between general and special education teachers. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast. Please comment with challenges and/or solutions that you have faced, as well as any questions that you might have. See you next week. Thanks for listening.